Good evening. Welcome to the Woodlands 50th Anniversary Tree Dedication. I'm Jim Carmen, President of the Houston Region for Howard Hughes. And how about this week so far, right? Amazing. Our 50th anniversary as a community, it's already been a great week. We've got a lot more coming up. We'll talk about that at the end, some of the events that we're going to have the rest of the week. But today we're here for the tree dedication. George Mitchell's vision was to create an all-encompassing and integrated community where residents could live, work, play, pray, and learn among a natural, forested, and preserved environment. Over the last 5 decades, Mr. Mitchell's, the Woodlands Development Company, now a subsidiary of Howard Hughes, has remained committed to not only fulfilling but exceeding that vision, with an unprecedented 35% of our community permanently dedicated to green space. Yes. So that includes over 220 miles of connected hike and bike trails, 151 neighborhood parks, George Mitchell Nature Preserve, all the golf courses, and all the forested buffers as well. In 2023, Howard Hughes gifted the Woodlands Waterway to the Woodlands Township. And they do a wonderful job of managing and maintaining not just the waterway, but all of our parks and trails for our residents, such as the park we're in today. And thank you to the Woodlands Township for all you do in taking care of those. Most recently, Howard Hughes gifted 208 acres on Gosling to the Woodlands Township to ultimately develop the newest park for our residents, and we look forward to seeing what you guys come up with there. Very exciting. As you can see, we remain steadfast in maintaining our sustainable and preserved environment here in the Woodlands. As part of the 50th anniversary of the Woodlands, we want to honor that commitment with this special dedication. First, though, we'd like to recognize the partners that have made the 50th anniversary party and celebration this week possible. The first is the founding partner, Howard Hughes. Thank you, Howard Hughes. It is, but there's a lot of folks behind me at Howard Hughes that make this all possible, and certainly we get a lot of support from our whole company to fund these sponsorships. So I do have to thank the company for that. The producer sponsorship, the Woodlands Township. Thank you. Legacy partner, Woodforest National Bank. Heritage partner, Waste Connections, Inc. Our gold partners, Entergy Texas and Houston Methodist, the Woodlands Hospital. Our silver partners, Ovintiv, SVN, J. Beard Real Estate, and the John Cooper School. We have several bronze partners, and we have a few of those bronze partners with us here today. Stephen Wright from Wright Business Technologies. Jenny Taylor from Market Street. We have Kara Richmond, the Michael Richmond family. And Linda Nelson from Memorial Hermann, the Woodlands Medical Center. Now please welcome the Woodlands Township Board of Directors, Mr. Brad Bailey.
I gotta lower this mic here. I'm not 6'10". I think I'm gonna hold it. Thank you so much for being here today. For over 2 years, we've been planning this week of festivities, and it's just been countless hours, and we couldn't have asked for better weather. So cool fronts here. It's perfect timing, so we're excited about going forward. Each day of this week, we're celebrating many things that make Woodlands so special. Yesterday was a day of giving with interfaith. Today, we're celebrating trees and the important role that trees and livable forest plays in our community. But before we continue the program, I would like to recognize my colleagues on the Township Board of Directors. Many are all here today, I think, except for one, but Chairwoman Ann Schneider. Vice Chairman Kyle Watson couldn't make it, but his CEO's in town. He gets a call pass. Our Secretary, Linda Nelson. Dr. Richard Franks. Dr. Shelley School-Gibbs. And Dr. Cindy Heiser. It's a total team effort of what we work on. And I think one thing that we all agree on 7-0 is the important role that trees play in our community. So we put our money where our mouth is too. So more on that later. I'd like to start off with a 2008 quote from George Mitchell that I got from some friends at the Mitchell Foundation. I told them about what we're doing here today, and I said, what's a good one that we can talk about, Mr. Mitchell? And they sent this back. He was asked about the Woodlands and what makes it so special, and he says, you ask the residents of the Woodlands what they like best about our community, and you get responses like, we really like our schools, we really like our parks and pathways. However, every year since the Woodlands opened, the one thing they keep saying is, we love our trees. That's what they always say. That makes me very proud. So I think it's a good quote for today as we embark on our glorious tree here. I feel a little bit like Clark Griswold and the Griswold family Christmas tree, but no Clark here. Trees symbolize strength, growth, and natural beauty that defines the Woodlands. Since our founding, the Woodlands has been known for a commitment to preserving and enhancing our natural forest. An example of that is our board that we talked about. We put our money where our mouth is. This last year, we invested over $1 million in reforestation all across our community. That's approximately 6,500 trees that were planted by many of the people that you see standing around here in the Woodlands shirts, our great staff. This is the largest investment in reforestation in the history of the Woodlands Township, and it's something we're very, very proud of. And we hope to continue that effort as we move forward. The reforestation program is a key part of the commitment to maintaining our lush greenery and makes our community so special. We have become what people have come to love. Our reforestation program helps replace trees that we've lost to storms and droughts and hurricanes and other challenges that we have, but making sure that our trees we plant today provide shade, cleaner air, beautify our parks, pathways, esplanades, and our forest reserves for years to come. In addition to our 50th anniversary tree, we're also celebrating the township staff, and you'll see the pictures here and examples of that, met with all the village presidents to commemorate a special tree planted in each of our villages. These 100-gallon trees were planted in the village of Alden Bridge at Sundance Park, the village of Cochran's Crossing at Cattail Park, village of College Park at Harper's Landing Park, village of Creekside Park at the Rob Fleming Park, village of Grogan's Mill at Termark Park, village of Indian Springs at Falcon Wing Park, village of Panther Creek at Meadowland Park, and the village of Sterling Ridge at Cranebrook Park. This further commitment to reforestation, we have gifted today, breaking news, we have 50 of these trees here that we have for all of our guests to take home with them. There's only 50. So first come, first serve. Some of you might have to get the fire department to help you get your tree home, but they're rather large. But it's something that we really believe in and think it's something. And staff did such a wonderful job. They actually have carrying and planting instructions along with it. So you can't mess it up. So let's thank the staff. And this was a last minute ad. That was a really incredible thing. And now we'll talk a little bit more about the 750-gallon oak tree that behind me that recognizes our 50th anniversary and the importance of trees in the Woodlands. But before I turn this over to Dr. Chris Nunes to give you all the stats and figures on this big old tree, I wanted to recognize a few people. This has been a huge project, and there's a crane that pushed this thing over here. There's water, there's lights, there's sump pumps, there's like everything known to mankind in this thing. But it's really, I've kind of been coming through here, nervous about our little investment, Griswold family Christmas tree here. And just to see all the staff working tirelessly, making sure that it gets done, I want to recognize a few of them. John McGowan, our Director of Parks and Recreation. John, where are you at? Thank you, John. And your entire team. Mitch Hall, who's probably been the most nervous guy in the entire staff about this tree. He actually was one of the ones that went and hand-picked it out. Mark Honoré, our streetscape superintendent. Mark, thank you. Right back, yeah. And Alan Selmer, our local arborist and forestry management. Only problem is he used to work at LSU. Always ribs me. But we actually have an arborist on staff. A lot of people don't realize that. I mean, that's an important part of what we do. And the entire team, and we left so many people off that have just done a fantastic job. And all with kind of under the leadership of our Chief Operating Officer, Chris Nunes, who also has been rather nervous this week. But Chris, I'll let you come back over and kind of break down this tree here for us.
Thank you very much, Brad, and really thank you very much to the Board of Directors for their continued support of the forestry efforts and the reforestation program. And what I've been really tasked with is really to try to just really sum the importance of a tree in the role of a community. Ever since I was like 12 years old, I just really fell in love with the trees, and I think that's how I got involved in the Parks and Recreation field. My first job was when I was 18, and I'm much older than that right now. And so, like Brad talked about with a quote, I try to find something that was really applicable to today, and with Mr. Mitchell's vision and how this park system is really created, and our love affair and our passion for our trees, I really came up with this quote that says, "The true meaning of life is to plant trees under whose shade you do not expect to sit." So just think about that. With hundreds of thousands of trees planted by Howard Hughes, the Woodlands Township, and our respective predecessor organizations, there is so much truth to this quote. We do not plant trees for today, we plant trees for 50 years from now. Think about that. We plant trees to ensure our children, our grandchildren, and our great-grandchildren have the same benefits in this community that our predecessors did for us 50 years ago. Just as Mr. Mitchell's vision for this community began as a small idea, the tree we honor today began as a tiny acorn. Both have grown tall and strong over the past 50 years. As part of the 50th anniversary plan, we were tasked with finding the right spot for something that would commemorate our anniversary and represent the Woodlands. There is nothing that represents the Woodlands more than a live oak tree. We challenged the Parks and Recreation Department to find the right tree after we identified the location at Northshore Park. And Northshore Park is so special to the community. Countless events, community-based events, have been held in this park for better than 40 years, and some of you probably were at the bottom of the lake party as well. Like many great ideas for this tree, the planner of the irrigation system and the electrical system were all drawn up in napkins, similar to our beloved waterway. Finding the right tree for this event and location really provided to be a challenge. Mitch Hall was the primary, as Brad Bailey mentioned. Our Assistant Director of Parks and Recreation would present me photos from around the state of Texas, around Florida, and my comment was, go bigger, go bigger, go bigger, because that's not representative of our community at 50 years, and the result is what we have today. The live oak was sourced from Canton, Texas, outside of Dallas, and was planted last week. As Brad mentioned, a couple of cranes, 10, 15 people, babying and nursing this tree to health. Today gives me great pleasure to be part of this project where future generations will gather around the big tree at Northshore Park. Already we have heard of Instagram photos being taken with the tree, and we would imagine that other significant life moments will be held around this tree for our community members. Another quote that I very much love, and I think about this in all things that we do in our Parks and Recreation Department, especially from Parks Development, I've never seen anything so beautiful be stated by one of our great-grandchildren. Here's to 50 years of the Woodlands, its trees, and its forest. Thank you, guys.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about what's coming up next this week. We do have some photos that we're going to take soon, so hold on for that. But let me get to the summary of events. Okay, so just before the photos, I want to talk about the rest of the week, what we have in store. Of course, tomorrow at 11 a.m. is our mural unveiling. That's right on the waterway, right behind Cynthia Woods Mitchell Pavilion. I hope you can make it 11 a.m. Beautiful mural that's also a symbol, in addition to the trees, the beautiful public art that we all come to love here in the Woodlands. On Friday, concert featuring Lyle Lovett and his large band, as well as the Woodlands' own Hayes Carl and Jack Ingram at Cynthia Woods Mitchell Pavilion, presented by Howard Hughes. So hopefully everybody here can attend, bring your family. Should be an amazing concert and a great evening with perfect weather. And Saturday, it all culminates on the actual anniversary, the 50th anniversary, October 19th, on Saturday night. That's the grand celebration produced by the Woodlands Township right here at Northshore Park and also Hughes Landing. And that will be a fireworks show and a drone show. So yes, particularly excited about the drones. Love fireworks, but the very first drone show here in the Woodlands. And to me, that's a symbol of celebrating 50 years, looking back in the past, but looking forward for the next 50 and the next century as well, as we continue to make the Woodlands the best place to live and work, play, pray, and learn. Those are presented by Woodforest National Bank and Waste Connection. Thank you to those sponsors for the drone show and the fireworks, and that will happen at approximately 8:30 p.m. So thank you all again for your support, and let's take some pictures of this beautiful tree.